Between forest nymph and werewolf, the place of man in the world according to pre-Slavic mythology, to SOULED URCHEON. The detective sculptor team greets all those who carry about mysteries and secrets, especially those that lie in the most remarkable places. The subject of our investigation will be the world of the Witcher, and the main tools in study will be our constant tools, modeling and mythical code. Created by Andrzej Sapkowski, the fantasy universe has successfully stood the test of time. Its heroes, Geralt of Rivia, Ciri, Yennefer Vengerberg, Red Trees, Dandelion, Vesemir, etc., have lived their lives in computer and board games, TV series in our imagination. The writer didn't recreate this universe out of anything. It is based on the mythical code and ancient Slavs, common to the Polish, Ukrainian, and many other nations. Let's recall an episode from Sapkowski's novel, The Question of Price. An unknown knight named URCHEON of Alenwold claims the right to Princess Pivetta's hand, and he still doesn't want to show his face. When he is strictly forced to take off his helmet, the banquet guests see a needle-covered snout of hedgehog. Let's turn to the episode from Mikołaj Hall's novel May Night or Drowned Maiden. A widower brought a new wife home. On the first night, a terrible black cat with iron claws attacked his daughter from a previous marriage. Defending herself, the girl tears off her father's sword and cuts off the beast's paw. For 3 days, her stepmother doesn't show up from her room, and when she finally leaves, her hand is tied. And the girl understands that it is in the form of a black pussy she was attacked by a new father's wife. Question of price. An unknown knight named URCHEON of Alenwold claims the right to Princess Pivetta's hand, and he doesn't want to show his face. At the heart of both episodes are popular ideas about werewolves, similar in different nations. In the legends and tales of Ukrainians, a person who can acquire the image of animal is called dichotomist, because he has 2 hearts of human and wolf. Therefore, why the transformation can happen quite unwittingly. It is enough to roll over the stump or go into the bushes. It is particular the folklore to SOULED a man and his wife mow hay together when a tired man goes to drink water. However, as soon as she disappears into the bushes, a wolf jumps out and attacks the woman. Escaping from the beast on the top of mound, calls for help from her husband, but he doesn't come. Eventually, the neighbors come running and chase away the wolf. When a man appears, he doesn't remember anything, only red threads from a woman's skirt are stuck in his teeth. People who are subject to free transformation into beasts want only one thing: to get rid of this burdensome gift, and are even ready to part with their lives, not to pose a threat to their loved ones. How's problem, eh? The ancient Greek father of history, Herodotus, connects the idea of werewolves with the Ukrainian lands. In the 4th book of his history, Melpomene, he tells about the neighboring people of Scythian, the Neuroids, whose representatives once a year turned into wolves. According to Herodotus, the country of this werewolf tribe is located between the river Dnieper, the Carpathian Mountains, Polissa, and URCHEON. At the first glance, all these mythical transformations of man into animals seem far from the reality fantasy. That is how scholars interpreted ancient myth. However, thanks to the discoveries of Carl Jung, Mircea Eliade, John Campbell, Mary-Louise van France, John Henderson, Carl Coney, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and many other modern psychologists and anthropologists, this view is still a thing of past. Myths mark the path to the depths of psyche beyond the reach of a purely rational mind. They offer strictly accurate images of the secret processes the person undergoes during his formation into a real person. One of the most successful explanations for the phenomenon of transformation was given by the American mystery writer Algernon Blackwood in his 1908 short story, The Camp of the Beast. According to the plot, a priest with his wife, daughter, secretary, and a family friend come to a desert Scandinavian island for a summer vacation. Soon the ideal of unity with wildlife is broken by the appearance of a mysterious beast trying to break into the tent of priest's daughter at night. He is shot with a rifle, and in this morning everyone sees a bully mark on the secretary's face. The poor man didn't dare to admit his feelings for the girl, even to himself, so his suppressed passion was embodied in the form of a wolf. And didn't each of us undergo such a transformation when we cringed in response to the appeal of a person we like, that we couldn't cope with our feelings for her or for him, so instead of a kind of word or gesture, they could only snap. The protagonist of Mark Zaharoff's film The Ordinary Miracle must turn into a bat as soon as he is kissed by a princess. In other words, he is afraid of feeling awkward, unable to express his feelings as he would like to. Man rises the bar of hope from himself and eventually fits in with the task that seems impossible to him. So instead of doing it not perfectly but humanly, he releases a beast, which will do everything like a wolf, a bear, or a hedgehog. Despite his apparent simplicity, the true story contains an essential psychological touch. A man gets tired before turning into a wolf. The beast comes when a person is exhausted, and no other way. As we can see, the language of myth surprisingly accurately describes a situation where a person cannot express or master their feelings and begin to live their own lives. So the uncontrolled jealousy of the centurion new wife to his daughter is embodied in a black cat with iron claws, and the poor knight's hopeless love for the princess turns him into a hedgehog. In other words, where a person doesn't manage on his own, the beast comes to his aid. However, this help is not always helpful, and sometimes just destructive. The Witcher Geralt repeatedly has to face the need to defeat the beast that man has become without harming the man himself. The Mythical Code also offers ways to get rid of hypocrisy. A study of psychological basis of mythical recipes for disengagement of werewolves is waiting for you in the next series of our investigation. We will be grateful for feedback and likes. Moreover, among all of those who sign up for the Patreon, we will draw the final result of the Witcher's cause, a medallion of Geralt from Rivia.